Google just recently updated their report on the customer purchasing cycle when it comes to automotive. What's really interesting, there's a lot, if you guys haven't read it, I definitely encourage you to take a look at it. But I think one of the key takeaways I took away from it is that the shopping and research part of their cycle hasn't gotten smaller. In fact, it actually just continues to get longer. With the amount of content that we have at our hands and the ability to find out any question that we have, we will spend more time in that. So much so, but depending on your age and your demographic, you're spending 60 to 90 plus days doing research and shopping before you enter into the buying cycle. Now, the interesting about the buying cycle, it's actually gotten shorter, but it does make sense, right? That top part of that funnel has gotten longer. Therefore, I'm able to qualify myself more appropriately, all right? So then come down to the bottom part of my buying cycle, things are happening a lot quicker. But providing that unique customer experience meant that we needed to know where they were and acknowledge where they were in their cycle, right? Typically, people are coming in because they want to do research. We also had customers come in to shop. They had checked out a vehicle or two, and they were kind of interested, maybe because of the price point of the Mitsubishi or the warranty of it, that they may consider and they may take a look at it. And then some of them actually did come directly in because they did want to own a Mitsubishi. They had previously owned one or something along that lines. But as our responsibility from the sales flow to remove as much friction as possible, we need to quickly identify where they were. So not necessarily qualify them to the vehicle of interest, but qualify to them to where they are in their sales cycle so that we can custom tailor our presentation to their needs, right? If I have a customer coming in and they're at the research, my guys were prepped and ready to spend the next hour or two or whatever was necessary to give them what they needed so that they left feeling like they fulfilled their research needs. If they were shopping, my guys were very, very trained on being able to answer what these vehicles were like in comparison to the other vehicles. They have to be. Guys, look, I'm telling you right now, it is absolutely ridiculous that your customers come in knowing more about the cars than the salespeople do. Like, come on. We're all professionals here. The key word is being a professional. If you want to be a professional, you need to know your product and you need to know the competition of that as well.
Having that family business, being a real family business, and I think that's what kind of leads into our discussion, and one of the reasons I wanted to come talk to you, because I think you're, of all the people out there, you really have your pulse on what the experiences are at your dealership. Now, I know we talk about the customer experience a lot, and in the industry we talk about the customer experience a lot, and at seminars they talk about it, but it's just huge blanket term
there's so
that
many
just kind of
to it, right?
follows into everything. And one of the things that I know both and I have been working on lately, which is it was a great opportunity, and I love doing that, is your marketing experience. And we say experience because that's the approach we take. It's not just ads.
Because I feel like we're finally able to take that approach.
With the technology that's at our hands, right?
Exactly.
I mean, utilizing Google AdWords the way that we do, and YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook, and the combination of those channels, but also building a multi-level approach to those channels, we are able to generate that experience. But I think what's more important is to hear how, from your words, how do you see that marketing experience has been developed out?
Typically behavior dictates the marketing that we see, right? How many times have you guys gone to like a clothing store's website or something, and then all of a sudden you start tracking, they're following you around with ads, right? So the behavior, what you did online, dictates the marketing you see. With Facebook, we can actually flip it around and actually allow the marketing to dictate the behavior, right? Because what we're doing is we're injecting it into a point in your day where you consume. Right? It's crazy. I mean, I'm sure, have you guys ever gone to YouTube and you're like, you went there for a specific reason, and then all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, like, oh shit, what the hell was I looking for? Why did I come here again? Because this popped up and that popped up, but what popped up in those videos were actually somewhat relevant to you because it has that collective information on you, right? It's the same thing with Netflix, right? You guys watch shit that you didn't choose to watch, but because Netflix told you should watch it, right? So it's the marketing that's dictating the behavior. With Facebook, what we're able to do is where we are, because of the specific ad set, is that we're able to put something in front of you, and if you're in market in some level or form, you're going to start to consume that inventory. Right now, it's letting that marketing actually now dictate it. So the next step is it then clicks over to the website. Then you kind of take your then it goes on from there, right? And when it comes to the product, each one of you guys have to find your own language, your own way to sell that story. And seriously, guys, it's not the brochure, okay? You got to find your own place. Now, the best advice I can give you when it comes to the story of the product, all right, is you need to make it unique to your audience, all right? Trucks, one of the fastest segments of audiences buying trucks are actually females. Women buying trucks, all right? Look, the way trucks are designed now, it can actually be the primary family vehicle. And for a lot of places, especially where I live, it is the primary family vehicle, okay? Do you know how much content out there is about, trucks specifically towards females? Jack all. I mean, trust me, try to go find it. You won't, all right? When you guys are thinking about the stories that you're telling, you need to associate that story to the individual that you're in front of, okay? Or the individual you're talking to over the phone, or the individual that you're going to respond to an email with, right? That needs to be their story. You know the product, you know it really well. You guys don't want to sit there and just regurgitate whatever those stats are, all right? Make it specific to your audience. Keys to a process, all right? The first things first is it needs to be written down, okay? I can't tell you how many times I've sat in an office with a dealership and I asked them about their delivery process. Oh, Jason, we have an amazing delivery process. We get our CSI score when it comes to delivery is just top notch. We're just absolutely stellar. That's great. Where's that process? Well, we have it. Well, where is it? What do you mean? Guys, if a process is not written down, it doesn't exist. I'll just tell you straight up. In your head, it may exist. But I'll go out to the sales floor, I'll ask 6 guys what that delivery process is. I guarantee you I'm gonna get 6 different variations of what that sales process is. Okay? The process has to be written down, and it has to be measurable. You have to be able to measure the effectiveness or the efficiency of that specific process.